Dear friends, I am Dr. Shiva from Karnataka. In this video, I'll be discussing about the National Medical Commission Bill. So, what is this bill and why we need to oppose this bill? Why this bill poses a threat to medical community and the public in total? So, we all are aware that this bill passed in both upper and lower house of the parliament, and after getting consent from the President of India, now this has been enacted as an act, that is National Medical Commission Act 2019. And this new commission will be replacing the age-old body which governed this medical profession from past 63 years, that is Medical Council of India. When this bill came up to surface, by noticing some of the clauses which are completely against the interests of medical professionals and public, many individuals raised their concerns, and there had been strikes, there had been signature campaigns, there had been dharnas across the country. But government neglecting all these voices, they introduced this bill which is anti-people, anti-doctor and anti-medical student. And this is completely an undemocratic and draconian bill. So today we stand at a critical juncture where health system of our country has been put off for sale. Friends, if we turn back the pages and see how this entire evolution of changing this body, it goes to 2010 UPA led Congress led UPA government. Then Health Minister Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad, by noticing some of the corruption charges against the office bearers of Medical Council of India, he planned to reform this medical body. So he came up with an idea called Vision 2015. But eventually it failed to come to the surface, and in 2014 BJP led India government, they came to power and they took up this issue and they sent it to a standing committee. In 2017 they came up with a renamed version of this Vision 2015. They called it as National Medical Commission, and they proposed this bill. But there were some clauses in this bill also, like introduction of bridge course practitioners and many other things, and medical professionals completely opposed this bill. So again it was sent to standing committee. But once again in 2019 they brought this to parliament, but still there were more dangerous things than 2017 bill. So whole country opposed it, but instead of listening to the voices, so government introduced it, and now it has been allowed. So in such situations, one question come to our mind. So once a bill has been introduced, is there anything like it cannot be rolled back? No. So there have been many instances in the past that many bills had been rolled back. So it is the time we need to say that this bill is anti-democratic, it is anti-people, anti-student and anti-doctor in nature. That I'm going to explain in this video. So I'll be discussing in 4 headings. So why we are opposing this National Medical Commission bill? Number 1. So through this bill, there is complete bureaucratization of medical education. Previously, the MCI Medical Council of India was an autonomous body, and a part of it were bureaucrats. But in the new body, it is complete bureaucratization of medical education. So there is no space for autonomy. That I'll explain why we need autonomy in any independent body. And the second point is that the concept of community health practitioners. So who are these community health practitioners and how it is going to affect the public? Number 3, through this bill, there is commercialization of medical education. So how it is done in a phased manner, that I'll be going to explain. Number 4, through introduction of exit exam, a common final year exam for medical students, for the final year students. So there are so many confusions about this exit exam that I'll be discussing. So these 4 points mainly poses a threat to medical students, doctors and public in total. So let us discuss one by one. So firstly, so we will discuss, so what is bureaucratization of medical education? So why we are opposing this bureaucratization of medical education? That we need to compare with the previous body. So that is Medical Council of India. It was a body formed by 112 members. So most of them, 104 of them were elected members. They were elected through a democratic way. So, and the rest 8 of them were the bureaucrats nominated from the government. So 104 were elected members out of 112 members. And who can be these elected members? That is very important. So there will be a one representative from a state health university. For example, in Karnataka, Rajiv Gandhi Health University is there. So there will be one representative from Rajiv Gandhi Health University. Like that, all the 29 states and the 9 union territories will have their individual representatives who is elected member. And also there will be representative from autonomous institutions, autonomous universities, and rest 8 from the government of India, and 104 of them were elected members. So there was a place for every state in this body. But what the presently planned NMC body, that is made up of 25 members. So out of these 25 members, only 5 are elected members. So only 5 will be elected members and the rest 20 will be nominated members. So the problem here is who can nominate them. So they are nominated members, and out of 20, 14 will be nominated by the central government and only 6 will be from the states. And another bigger problem here is that, and only 6 members are representing the states. I mean, 29 states and 9 union territories have got 6 places in this body. So virtually there is no place for the states in this new body. And why we are opposing this body is that here most of them are nominated members. That is, they are nominated by the government. That means they are the paid workers of the government. So they don't have autonomy in taking any decisions. So what government says, they have to follow it. So there is no space for autonomy. That we completely oppose. We want all the nominated members, and we want representatives from every state and union territories, and we want all those representatives to be elected members. And here why we are demanding for autonomy. So the question of autonomy is very significant for the development and progress of any community, any body, any institution. There should be a space for autonomy. So when there is complete bureaucratization, that autonomy is lost. So we demand for autonomy. So we demand an elected way of selecting members, not through a nominated way. So that we oppose. We oppose bureaucratization of medical education. Number 2, the concept of community health practitioners. So in clause 32, so they have introduced community health practitioners. So let me define who can be a community health practitioner. So this article, clause 32. Clause 32 says any person who is connected with the modern scientific medical profession will get license to practice limited modern medicine at mid-level, that is between doctor and nurses. So any person who is connected with modern scientific medical education can practice modern medicine at mid-level. So question is, who is that any person? So who is that any person? So how can he practice limited modern medicine? So how can we give the health of our community to half-knowledge people? So we are not dealing with toys, we are not dealing with robots, we are not dealing with machines, we are dealing with human beings. Every drug has an effect and a side effect. So it should be used very delicately. So we don't want our rural community to get treated by these half-knowledge people. So our rural masses deserve to get treated by a qualified MBBS doctor. Okay, so the main reason that government gave is that there is a lack of doctors in the peripheries. So let us analyze that. Is there really a shortage of doctor? So when we analyze that, there is a shortage of more than 60% specialists in the peripheries, that is at taluk hospitals and at CHCs. So there is 60% of specialists shortage, and only 10 to 20% shortage of MBBS doctors. And this shortage at many places, it is because of lack of recruitment from the government part. And there are some places where doctors are not willing to go. The reason is that there is no security, there are no facilities, and it is very remote areas. So we need government to provide good facilities, good security, safety. That is very important. So instead of solving these issues, putting blame of doctors, it's of no use. So we want to work in rural areas, but we want to work with better facilities and better safety. So By just saying that doctors are not going to rural areas and giving an excuse and introducing these community health practitioners is just doing injustice to our rural masses. And dear friends, even today, even today, uh, the more than 60% of the healthcare in our country is being delivered through the private modes, means private hospitals and institutions. Only 30 to 40% of healthcare delivery system are through public health institutions. So why this difference? That we need to question. So we don't want community health practitioners. Already we have abundant quacks in our country. We don't want to overpopulate the quacks. We don't want to legalize the quacks. So we don't want this half-knowledged community health practitioners. We demand government to post qualified MBBS doctors to rural areas, and each and every person has the right to get treated by a qualified MBBS doctor. So we completely oppose this community health practitioners. And number three, that is commercialization of medical education. So friends, what I say is that health is a matter of state. There are two basic things that government should provide to each and every individual of this country, no matter he's rich or poor. They should not consider caste, creed, religion, or anything. Those two are education and health. Those two should be delivered through public institutions at very, very, very affordable rates. That we demand with just single voice. And let me tell you how this commercialization of medical education is done in a phased manner through this National Medical Commission bill. Number one, through liberalizing or relaxing the criteria to open new medical colleges. So previously, just to give an example, to open a new medical college, the criteria was to have 20-acre land to start a new medical college. Then it was relaxed to 20-acre land. Now in this bill, only 5-acre land is sufficient to start a new medical college. And here again, the government is giving the same reason. There is shortage of doctors. There are shortage of medical colleges in our country. Yes, you are right, but solution is wrong. What should be solution is that we need medical colleges. Yes, more government medical colleges, not private medical colleges. Yes, we need more seats. Yes, in government medical colleges. Increase the seats there, increase the PG seats in government medical colleges, so that even a poorer student can afford to be a doctor and can afford medical education in our country. So by relaxing this criteria, government will eventually lower the standards of medical profession. To just give an example, in around 2000, 2020, 2 decades back, so there was huge status for software engineers, and these corporates sense this. They sense the demand, they sense the profit in this engineering institutions. They started engineering colleges in every street of metropolitan cities. So what is the state of engineers today? They are overpopulated, they are jobless. Thankfully they are not dealing with human beings. But through this bill, if this relaxation is continued and is being allowed, then every medical college will stand up in every streets of metropolitan cities, and the degrees will be given between four walls. Ideally, a doctor should be nourished between the patients. He should observe the patients, he should learn from the patients, he should observe the signs, he should observe the symptoms, and he should come to diagnosis by looking at the patient, not with just books. So we want medical colleges with a good number of patients, with good staff and good environment. So giving degrees between four walls, it is of no use. We don't want just doctors with degrees. We want doctors with good clinical knowledge. So if through this commercialization, the corporates will demand this, will sense this demand, and they will start medical colleges without having adequate facilities, adequate patient input. So the students will be cheated, and moreover the public will be cheated. So how can they come to know that a doctor with just a degree is whether from a good patient input hospital, or whether he got a degree between four walls? So we want medical colleges to be opened through strict criterias, and we want medical colleges with good patient input, good teaching faculty, and good environment. that we completely oppose this kind of relaxation for opening medical colleges. So for if the country needs more doctors, yes, we want more medical colleges, government medical colleges. Even today, if we see, more than 30% of the districts in every state of our country is lacking a government medical colleges. And there are many districts where they don't even have a single government medical colleges, but instead they are having 3 to 4 private medical colleges. So it is the responsibility of the government to start government medical college in every district, so that every poor student can afford to be a doctor, and the poor people can get good quality health care through government medical colleges. So that is one thing, how commercialization is being done. And number two, how it is going to affect the students, that is through fee criteria. Previously, only 5% of the seats in private medical colleges used to be decided by the private bodies. Now it has been raised to 50%, that is up to 50% of the seats in private medical colleges, the fees are decided by the private bodies, and only 50% will go to NEET. If we be silent in the same way, it might go up to 70%. Already the number of institutions, government institutions, are very less when compared to private bodies. It is almost 3 is to 7. 3 per 3, 3 means government medical colleges and 7 means private medical colleges. So we need more government medical colleges. We want every student who is aspiring to become a doctor through his childhood should get a MBBS degree in a government medical colleges. So we oppose this relaxation of fee criteria, relaxation of opening new medical colleges, and also the fees that is increased in the recent days is very hazardous to our country, because even an MBBS first year fee in just a government medical college, it is 60 to 70,000 today. And even the same PG seat in a government medical college is around 1.2 lakhs. And in a private medical colleges, MBBS seat is around 7 to 8 lakhs, and PG seat is around same, and management seat we cannot say, it is in crores. So it is more towards privatization and commercialization of medical education. Health is a field of service, and it's a responsibility of the government. So we oppose this commercialization and privatization of medical education. Even today, friends, more than 70% of the healthcare expenditure is paid out of patients' own pockets, and only 30% of the healthcare expenditure is from the government. So health should be a birthright. What Board Committee said, every person should deserve a quality health right from womb till tomb, womb to tomb. A complete healthcare should be given by a government. It is the responsibility of the government. We demand health for all. Health should be a birthright, and every person, no matter he is rich or poor, should deserve to get a quality health care. So we demand our government to improve the public institutions, improve the government hospitals, improve the standards of government medical colleges. Okay, not through relaxing the criteria to open more private medical colleges. That is not the solution. It will be just a disaster like the engineer students are today. But fortunately, they are dealing with machines. But if a doctor with just a degree and who's raised between four walls comes and treats a patient, just imagine the state of the health status of our country. That we are concerned. Number 4, so exit exam, that is common UG final year examination. So what is this exit exam? There are so many confusions about this exit exam. Number 1, it will be an MCQ type an exam. That is, it is going to replace the age-old traditional way of deciding or giving a degree to MBBS student. That is a theory exam to assess his knowledge, a practical exam to assess his clinical knowledge, and a Viva OC to assess his judgment. It is holistically judged before giving degree to an MBBS student. But through this next exam, an MCQ based an exam, how can this be both qualitative and competitive? So this next exam is also a competitive exam for PG examination, PG courses. So how can a single exam is both qualifying and competitive? And another thing, so who all can give this exit exam? Number 1, before getting a degree to practice in future. Number one, all MBBS students should give this examination to get license to practice in future. Number two, it is also an exam to get PG degrees, PG seats. Number three, foreign medical graduates, foreign licentiates will be giving the same exam to get into our system. Previously, all the foreign medical graduates used to go through a tougher examination because there are some colleges in foreign where degree is given between four walls. So before introducing them to our system, government used to assess their theory, clinical knowledge, and then only give permission to practice in our country. But through this exam, just theory MCQ based exam, it is very difficult to assess their clinical knowledge, that we oppose. And number two, second confusion about the exit exam. So what will be the syllabus? If it is at the end of final year examination, whether student has to learn all the 19 subjects or only final year subjects. So there is no clarity. And number three, if a student fails in one subject, so now there is supplementary examination after 1 or 2 months. So through this next exam, is there any such opportunity, or whether he has to wait for another 1 year? There is no clarity about that. And also, why we are concerned about this next exam is that, and the government here is that, to practice in future as a license, next exam is the criteria. So the importance of internship will be lost if this exit exam comes into place. Why? What we believe is that whatever we learned in our MBBS degree, that 5.5 years degree, 4.5 years we learned more of theoretical knowledge, and all those theoretical knowledge is applied in our internship. So we see cases, we diagnose small cases, we learn from our PGs, we learn from our staff, we learn from our patients. That is where the real doctor is nurtured, that is in internship. So for us, only after completing 1 year complete rotatory internship, we were granted certificate to practice in future. So if this exit exam comes, it is a license to practice in future. So the importance of internship will go. That we are worried very much. And one more thing is that, and there are three other things that we were very much concerned, but our health ministry is not concerned, is focusing on that. Number one, why there are different fee structures in different states of our country. Karnataka has different fees for MBBS, Andhra has different fees, Tamil Nadu has different fees. There are different fees in different states of our country, that we are worried why there is so much inequality. Number two, why there are differences in stipends. Karnataka is getting less stipend. Delhi and other north states are getting very good stipends. That is inequality. Number three, regarding rural service. In Karnataka 1 year, Maharashtra 2 years, many states they don't have rural service. Why this inequality? So we want government to consider about this and come to a conclusion and give a clarity about this. So these are four issues that are there in National Medical Commission, which is worrying medical students how through exit exam, and worrying doctors how if this community health practitioners comes to practice, it is kind of legalizing quackery. Just dealing with them will be a bigger headache to doctors. And number three, to the people. So getting treated by these community health practitioners, it's kind of cheating to them. And also how it is going to affect the public by increasing more and more private medical colleges. It is kind of increasing the fees, increasing the burden on them. So if they go to government medical colleges, the burden on them will be very less. The ventilator cost in government medical college is free. But whereas if they go to a private medical college, the fees, a ventilator cost per day is up to 6 to 10,000. So how can a common man will be able to afford such a costly healthcare? So public will be at last. This new bill, it's a blueprint of privatization and commercialization that we oppose wholeheartedly. Such many concerns are there in hearts of many doctors and many health concerned people. So, a such group of doctors, organizations, individuals, they we all met in Delhi on 9th November of last year, and we decided that when this bill was introduced, there had been many protests across the country. There had been individual protests, but there was no a single voice to protest against this bill. So initially there was some fire, but eventually it got slowed down. Now there is no voice anywhere. So still this bill is not completely introduced. So it is the time to realize and raise our voice against the government, and we must force them to scrap this bill. So, a national level forum has been created, that is National Action Forum Against NMC, NAF Forum, National Action Forum Against NMC at national level. Many student bodies are part of it, and many student bodies will be part of it in the future. We want every student body across the countries, every individuals to get nominated or they join this National Action Forum against this NMC. There you can go and search in Facebook, NAF Forum, join this, be a part of this. Let's go in a united voice, because unity is strength. We want to go with a single voice for our safety and for the betterment of community. So we want this bill to be scrapped. So as a part of opposing this National Medical Commission bill, a scrap NMC day has been planned on 6th February. 6th, 6th February, a nationwide scrap NMC movement will be observed, and the details will be put up in this National Action Forum Against NMC page on Facebook, and we want everyone to log into this page and follow this page, and we want you to educate. So who are watching this video, we want you to educate everyone, your friends, your families, not only medical community, it is going to affect the public in total. So we want you to educate everyone, and we want everyone to go with a single voice to scrap this NMC bill. So in March we'll be going for a march to Parliament in Delhi, and till this bill is scrapped, our movement will not be slowed down. So friends, take this message to as far as possible. We want you to take this message to every corner of our country, and we want you to educate everyone. This is what I believe, this is what I insist to you guys. So be a part of this National Action Forum against this NMC bill, and be a part of the success. We want to be united. Thank you.